Hello, my name is Frank Castillo. Welcome to another episode of To Be Frank. Today's guest is Zach. What's your last name?
Holmes.
Holmes.
Yeah.
I almost said Morris. Nice round of applause for Zach Holmes. Hey, from Jackass, also a very funny comedian. You had asked me a question before we got into it, and then go ahead.
Yeah. What was, so I've been seeing all this stuff about the, oh my God, I almost said Just for Laughs. God damn it.
No, that's fine.
No, it's, I've been seeing all this stuff about the Netflix's joke showcases.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, what that was.
Okay, so every 2 years they do Netflix The Joke Festival.
Yeah.
Every year they do the Netflix The Joke Introducing, which is their Fresh Faces showcase show. And then you go on their YouTube. And I think it's more of their version of like a farm system of how to pick people for not YouTube specials, but eventually to get on their radar. Because you saw how they do the stand-up specials where it's 6 comics, everyone doing 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they do to then see what your stats are to eventually get a special. Like a great case in point, Brian Simpson.
Yeah.
Brian Simpson was Dog at the Store, really great. We were talking, he was like, you know how I got my special showcase or whatever?
Yeah.
He was like, people saw me do 5 minutes at a show.
Yeah.
He was like, that's how they're picking. You know what I mean? They're just,
yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason to it. They just see it at a show. They see you do a solid 5 minutes, and they have you showcase. And
okay.
A lot of it's just having managers ask and stuff. But unless you've ever showcased for something like that, it sucks.
Yeah.
Because it's not it's like a sterile environment where it's it's like, well, we're all gonna watch everyone do stand up, yay!
Yeah,
but it's half audience, half agents, managers who are there to only see their client.
Yeah.
Some people have never performed there. People are 2 or 3 years in, right? It's just a mix. So it's everyone's either bombing their asses off or you'll have 2 or 3 standouts that are solid. It's just there's no rhyme or reason to it. You just go up, do your best, and then hope you get picked.
Yeah. No, that dude, I haven't really done any showcases, I guess, but one time I did. They were gonna pass, they did this thing to pass people at the Laugh Factory, and it was just funny. But I went there to do it, and dude, it was mostly just comics in the crowd.
Yeah,
and
bitter,
I felt
upset.
and they did not one give a fuck, dude.
Yeah.
And I was just bombing so hard, dude. It was so funny.
Yeah, it's any kind of. Because it's the other side of stand-up where it's not just going up there trying to be funny and but it's you do it for a number of years and then it gets to the point where it's all right, now you get to the business side of it where it's all right, we're all going to watch you do 5 minutes. And then how you approach that showcase set is interesting. Some people are or I'm just going to fill it and do 5 minutes. Other people are here's my 5-minute chunk.
Yeah.
So you're going to watch me do 5 minutes on a subject, and I'm going to hit you with a bunch of jokes that I've written. And then, I think that's the best way to approach it. Because I see people go up, and they're just all right, I guess that's 5 minutes. All right, thank you.
I feel I did not after the fact, I was I did not approach this correctly.
Yeah. It is also, it's a learning curve. No one teaches you how to do that. No one sits you down and is hey, a bunch of agents and managers are going to watch you do 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's going to suck. The audience isn't really going to be into it. And it may or may not change your life. Good luck. You know what I mean? It fucking sucks.
I was I wish I wouldn't have started with what I started with. And that was unnecessary.
It is one of my favorites in the world to watch someone showcase because it's they have to do the time, right?
Yeah.
And it's by a minute 1 or 2, everyone in the room can just tell you're not going to get it. So you just feel the energy just die, and then everyone's just ugh, and then those 5 minutes become so long.
Dude, and then they told me it was funny. They told me it was gonna be 5 minutes, and I get there and it's 3, and I was dude, it shouldn't even have been that big of a problem, but it was. For me, it was.
The whole day you're preparing for 5 minutes, and then they're 3, and then you're well, now I have to change everything.
Yeah.
And then it makes you second guess and all this stuff. Yeah.
And then I think I didn't even really change anything. I just did it to the 3-minute mark, and it was just very lackluster.
Oh man. Is there any big bombs you remember that you're ooh?
I mean, one time I bombed at the Hollywood Improv cold opening once.
Oh, those were always the worst.
And then I remember the person after me made a joke about my really shitty joke, and then everyone laughed. And then I was just dude, and it was actually funny, and I was just cool. And then I went outside and fucking cried about it.
There's nothing worse than like trying your best. Someone makes fun of you for trying, and then everyone in the room agrees with them, and then you're like, fuck.
And then like, I think there was someone there that was like, this really good photographer came, and they were like, oh, I'm going to be there taking pictures of other people. Like, if you want to, I'll take pictures of you after the show. And I was like, I'm not even waiting. I was just like, I feel sick, dude. I gotta go. Like,
you ever throw up from stand-up?
No, not yet.
I've puked 4 times.
Yeah.
And then I think me and my wife talked. She was like, do you have an eating disorder? I was like, I don't think so. I just think my tummy gets, because when I get nervous, I'll like, I don't know, when stand up certain things. Also, like, if I eat something and I feel like I'm going to get food poisoning, I'll be like, I got a yak. And then she's like, that's not good that you're always like, I got a yak. Sometimes you might just have to wait it out and see what happens. And I'm like, you might be right.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, have you ever eaten a lot of food before you went and done stand-up? I think it's like the worst. Yeah. I hate doing that.
Yeah, I will starve myself.
Yeah.
Days of, especially important dates, or like when I'm on the road doing weekends or featuring, I tend to just starve myself. I'll have breakfast, try to have some kind of lunch, but then I won't eat until afterwards. And that's where I fuck myself, because it'll be like midnight when you're leaving the club, and then it's like fast food, disgusting stuff. The only thing that's available late night. Then you're in another city, you're sad, your wife's wherever the fuck, and you're just murdering 3 different meals, and then you're just like, this isn't good. No, I've been there.
That's always the worst. Or like sometimes like the clubs that have food, it's always fun. Like, dude, I don't want to say the name of the club, but it was so funny. Like, it was me and my friend Kenny Weber. We were like, I was headlining this club, and they were like, I was like, so what's like the best food? And then they're like, the burger. You gotta have the burger. And like I ate the burger, and it was the worst burger I've ever had in my life, like literally. And as soon as I bit into it, like all the toppings flew out of it and like all over me. And I ate it. I took a bite of it before I went up, so then I had to go up. Like,
oh my god,
dude, it was so stupid.
Oh my god, I'm a sucker for the mozzarella sticks at any fucking comedy club.
Oh yeah,
any comedy club. If you have mozzarella sticks, I will eat those mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, mozzarella sticks are fire.
Yeah,
like one of the worst things. One time I Uber Eats mozzarella sticks, and they showed up and there was no cheese in them. It was just the breading. Like it like fucking fried out.
That's oh my god,
dude, it's like the
that's
worst
sacrilegious.
It's one of the worst things.
That feels on purpose and mean. That's so fucked up. One of my favorite things to do when I go to comedy clubs is I ask them, I go, who's the nicest person to work with the worst hour? And it is always like, because everyone always asks who's the worst person to work with, and it's always the same 3 people. And I'll tell you afterwards. So my favorite though is who is the nicest but is like the worst hour. And they always say like the same like 2 people, but it's like the packed rooms, we make a bunch of money, everyone's great, they're all drinkers, but God, it's the longest hour of my life. I'm like, that's so funny. That's so funny. Now that you've so you're headlining now?
I don't even really want to say that. Like I've had the opportunity to.
I mean,
but like
everyone makes that jump.
Feel like I'm a fucking headliner yet.
Yeah, everyone figures it out. I get it. Yeah. You're able to do.
I don't know. I always feel really weird about it because like I haven't been doing it that long.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like, I don't know, I want to put in the reps and all that stuff, and like I don't know. So sometimes I do headline.
Yeah.
I'll put it like that.
I mean, same thing with me, dude. Trust me. You're like I'm a club comic through and through. I probably maybe sell 40, 50 tickets on the road if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
But when I go to clubs, people know me. You know what I mean? So it's I get to headline when I do, so it's like there's no shame in it.
Yeah.
Even if like. Is growing up, no, but coming up and stand up, like for the longest time, people would always be like, "You're too young to have an hour. You're too young to have an hour." Blah blah blah. Work on these things, and then it gets 10, 15 years, and you're like, "I haven't put an hour out yet. I don't have an hour." Like, who have I been waiting for all this like weird society shit in culture or in comedy?
Yeah.
So it's like you get a chance to do it, fucking do it, and just work on it.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah. Do you ever get like? Because I know I get that way where I'm like self-conscious about like stand up and where I am at. Do you ever get that way? Do you ever feel that way about like stand up and like how people perceive you?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I definitely feel that way. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, it's kind of weird, like, coming into stand-up. Like, I mean, I've always wanted to do stand-up, but coming into it after doing, like, a movie or something. And then, like, I feel like sometimes people don't think that, like, oh, you're just doing this because, like, you did some other thing or whatever. And I don't know. It's, I don't know. Sometimes I definitely overthink stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. I get that.
Yeah.
But it's also like, what are you fucking sell cars? You know what I mean? Like, if you were selling cars, you know what I mean? Like, this just seems like more, it makes more sense. And also, for the longest time, everyone's always like, you're doing everything you can to, like, find your audience. You know what I mean? Like, you found an audience. Now you get to keep them and entertain them.
Yeah,
you know, and the people that are down for the journey get to, like, stick around or down for the journey.
Yeah.
As long as they like you, it doesn't really matter where you take them.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's true.
And some people get jealous and upset about that. But it's like, wow, fucking, we're all in this trying to just get better and just be good at this, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's okay, man.
It's okay, dude. Fuck, dude.
Has anyone been mean to you?
No, no one's really been that mean.
See. It's just you?
I just, like, I think it's just me.
Yeah, like, absolutely. We're all our own worst enemies.
I don't know.
What's like, I mean, all right, what's the meanest thing you've said to yourself about your own stand-up?
Probably, like, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't want to be like, kill yourself. No, but like,
I mean, that's when I wake up. No, you know what I mean?
But, like, I don't know. Just like, well, no, because this is what happens usually, though. Like, I'll be like, I haven't had, like, a really bad bomb in a while. And now that I said that, it's probably going to be fucking horrible next time. Yeah. Hopefully that's real wood. But, like, usually, like, I'll have like a horrible bomb, and then I'll be like, dude, why I'm not funny, like, why the fuck am I even doing this, you know? And then I'll remember, like, oh, there's actually times when people did laugh, you know?
Yeah.
So what the fuck was that? Yeah. It's like, and then, like, you know, so it's like, technically I am funny. I'm like arguing with myself, like, if I'm funny or not, and like I sound like a psychopath.
Yeah.
And then I go and I'm like, okay, just do better, like I just did. And that's usually how it is.
That's so funny, because, by the way, that never goes away.
Yeah.
And as long as you're, at least, that, because that happens to me a lot, but I always try to take solace in the fact that it's like, the good comics are always thinking like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, all right, I got to get better. I just got to get better. No matter what, at the end of the day, you just got to try to get better. And everyone bombs. And bombs, especially now for me, like, when it happens, I don't get upset. I don't get angry.
Yeah.
I don't get scared. I'm just like, thank God. Yeah. Oh, my God, I'm human, you know?
Yeah.
Because then you know the next time's going to get better.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like lately, like, if I don't do as well, like, it's not as, like fucking, like, it's not like I'm going to freak the fuck out about it, but, like, it's more like, okay, like, I'll write down, like, change this, fucking do this slightly differently, or, like, that didn't work, you know, or whatever. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, address those notes, like, the next time.
Yeah.
So I feel like I found, like, a better way to, like, address it.
Yes.
Like, over time.
Do you feel like, because you're also sober now, congratulations. Yeah. Do you feel like there's a correlation between, like, how you, how you approach and practice sobriety towards, like, just the, I guess, art that is stand-up? You know what I mean? Because there's, like, a meditation or, like, an art or, like, a routine. I feel like there might be the same kind of way or same philosophy with, like, staying sober and, like, the routine and, like, the art.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I wish I was doing it like that.
Oh my God, that's so
that
funny.
Actually, like, that's pretty sick, dude. Like, fuck. I should do that. Like,
oh, it's so.
There was a period of time though where I would meditate before anything, and then it got to the point where, like, I started, like, falling asleep, and I was just, like, taking a nap before anything.
That's actually really, really, really fun.
It's like I'm about to go to the gym, and, like, I'm just gonna meditate real quick, and then I just go and take a nap. And everyone's like, "Dude, you weren't even meditating; you were, like, snoring." And I'm like, "It's like transcendental meditation, dude. I was in a different plane, you know, like,
sleeping in that plane too."
Yeah.
Do you have you ever slept any? Like, are you one of those guys who can just fall asleep anywhere? Because I am.
Not really. I mean, I I feel like I used to be. One time I don't know why I just thought of this, but I mean, probably just because you said sleeping. But one time, like, I fell asleep on my desk, like, in school. Which is super easy to fall asleep on a desk. It used to be actually pretty comfortable.
Yeah, no,
but, like, I remember in high school, like, this one teacher kept getting so mad at me for falling asleep in his class. And he used to play, like, college football. He's one of the football coaches. And he was always so pissed at me, just every day. And, like, I could tell he, like, physically, like, wanted to, like, hurt me. I fell asleep like this with my hand under my chin, just like on the table, and he comes up and just runs and kicks the bottom of my desk, and I punched myself in the face, dude. And I just woke up like that.
Back when teachers could be teachers, you know?
Yeah, back when it was like cool, to do that.
We're trying to talk about teachers. One of my teachers got into, like, he was a real cool dude, and like I always liked him. And it wasn't until much later in life that I found out he ended up getting into gang stalking. Do you know what that is?
What? Like, okay, he thinks he's being gang stalked?
Yeah, he thinks he's being gang stalked.
Or he's one of the stalkers.
No. It's me and my other homies. I just don't know where they're at, but there's a bunch of us. No, he thought he was being gang stalked.
Oh, wow.
And it was just like,
he has a TikTok about it.
Yeah. Well, I followed him on Facebook, and then because there was like a thing where it was just like, I remember looking online, and it was like teacher banned from school, and I was like, what? That's my teacher. And
all these students are gang stalking.
6 periods a day. And it was just like, and then I looked on his Facebook, and he was posting about it.
Coming from?
I was like, whoa,
dude, that's gnarly.
Yeah. Any of your teachers of yours end up in some wild places?
Not really. I think one of my teachers, like, got like let go for like helping. Like, honestly, this is like a sick thing to do. Like, he got let go because I think what he did was he sort of helped everybody on a standardized test. So he like helped a bunch of people pass. Oh. And like, which is kind of sick. He
was a good teacher.
Yeah, he was like being a good teacher. And like,
what are you trying? Get the fuck out of here.
And that was, but nothing really too crazy. No.
Oh yeah, no, I had a bunch of teachers fuck students. Yeah.
Yeah, we had this one teacher that was like narcoleptic.
What?
And she would just fall asleep and like drinking like a Diet Pepsi or something, and then she would just like wake up and be like, oh.
You're like, me and her got a lot in common.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a teacher who ended up getting one of his students who used to babysit for him pregnant.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then they ended up, I think they're married.
Yeah.
And then they ended up getting into drugs and carjacking a 80-year-old lady. They went to prison.
Whoa.
Served their time, changed their lives around, and now they're both back out.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do they do now?
I think one of them, I don't know what they do now.
But
I think they both, no joke, I think they both counsel and like talk to people with.
Yeah, they're like helping people. Yeah. Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
Still don't trust them.
Still sus.
Still don't trust them.
Still sus, but
still
whatever.
Sus,
Yeah.
Should have put me as the lead in the play. Anyways, I'd be on your side. No. It's such a funny thing to hold on to. All right. So I got some questions for you from my wife, who's a therapist.
Okay, cool.
The question master, dubbed by Matt McCusker. Shout out my wife. All right. What's a story you're willing to tell about something you did in active addiction? If you're comfortable.
Something I did. Trying to think. Okay. This was like, okay, this is just like insane. But one time so I used to I never really did like hard drugs, like really. I mean, when I was like, I've been sober for, it's almost been like 2 years now. It's like, a year and 10 months right now.
Congratulations.
But like, it used to mainly just do like painkillers and Xanax and stuff, mainly just prescription stuff. And then like one day, like this dude, it was a homie. He was like my friend's older cousin, and he was just like, hey, like, he saw I was doing coke, and he saw that I was like high on coke, and he was like, come over. And like I went over to his house, and he's like, pour out what you have right now. And I was just like, okay. And then he's like, he pours out a bag of some other substance. And I was like, what the fuck's that? And he's like, it's heroin. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, and he's like, and then he like mixes it all together. And he's like, we're going to speedball. And I was just like, okay. And then like, we both do like 2 lines. And it was fucking awesome. Okay. And like, it was awesome. But like the more fucked up thing that happened was like after a while I was like, yeah, like, you know, like Chris Farley, like John Belushi, you know, all these people like did this and died. And then I was like, you know, I'm having a great time in my house. I go home, I put on Fast and the Furious, and like I watched like 2 of them and like was nodding out and like coming back and stuff. And then I tried to make fish sticks in the middle of the night and fell asleep and like burnt all the fish sticks. And then I woke up and like noticed that I almost started a fire. And then I was like, I guess I'll eat hot dogs. And I because I had the munchies at this point. And I, instead of like eating, like, I don't know. How many bites do you usually take when you eat a hot dog?
4, 3 or 4.
Dude.
5 maybe? Depends on the size of the hot dog.
Yeah. I barely took like any bites with these. And I maybe 2. Like, and so I fell asleep after eating, like I ate like a whole pack of hot dogs. And then went to sleep and woke up, like I fell asleep on my back. And when you're doing heroin, you're not supposed to fall asleep in your back.
You throw up.
Yeah, you throw up. And I woke up like choking on my own puke, and then I projectile vomited a bunch of like almost full hot dogs like everywhere. Yeah.
You're like, just like John Belushi.
Yeah. And I was just like, that was fucked up.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But then I never did heroin again after that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Damn, that is wild.
Yeah. I mean, that was like, yeah, it was not good. Okay, so now about the time I smoke crack, no.
Did you smoke crack?
No, I didn't smoke it. Yeah, I mean, I did once.
I think I smoked crack.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this story. So when I was on tour with Pauly Shore, he pulled out this pipe and was like, "You want to get wild?" No. No.
I would have believed that.
No. Like, we were in I think it was called Black Mountain.
Yeah.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
It's kind of we're near Asheville. So we were doing a show there. It was a music venue that used to be a biker bar.
Yeah.
This head of security, who was also, I think, the sheriff of the town.
Yeah.
Like he was like, "We're smoking some weed. You want to smoke some weed?" And I was like, because at the end of the trip, I had no weed.
Yeah.
And I was like, I usually smoke hash or like dabs. And he was like, "We got dabs." And then he was like, "I got some stuff I made at my house," and he had it. And then he had a honey badger. Do you know what honey badger is?
Mm-mm.
A honey badger is how do I? It's like it's a dab rig that they made, and it's basically it looks like an electronic crack pipe.
Oh, okay,
it is a heat powered, like the end is the coil, right, and it's like a straw, and you use that to hit it, right. Great for smoking hash. But it looks like a crack pipe. It is. It's just an electronic crack pipe. It is crazy. Because I remember the first time you hit it, you're like, this is a crack pipe.
Yeah.
Like, this is weed, this is hash, but this is a crack pipe. And so he was like, yeah, hit it. And I was like, fuck it, right? So he's giving me this pipe. It was electronic honey badger, because it's like connected to like a it's like a straw with a heated end, and then it's connected to like almost like a water filtration system, kind of like a bong, right? So it just that's when you hit it, it just filters it. It's real nice. It's very compact. It's actually a really good device. So I'm hitting it, right, and I'm ripped. And then all of a sudden, we do the show, we're all having fun, I get the munchies, and later on my face starts feeling weird and it gets all fucking fuzzy and like prickly. And then I call my friend and I'm like, dude, I think I smoked like Delta 8 or some like weird synthetic weed shit. Like, I'm worried. And my friend goes, you know what? I wouldn't be worried about that. That's fine. He goes, I would just be worried about whatever else he smokes out of that pen. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I didn't even think of what other drugs he might be using. Because that is literally, again, a crack pipe.
Yeah. Fuck, dude.
But, I was fine. But I was, like, convinced. I was like, I smoked so much shit.
Yeah, back in, like, active addiction, one time I was at a friend's house. kind of a friend, and not really a friend. I was at an
enabler's house.
Yeah, I was at this dude's house, and like I fell asleep, and this someone like dude, there was someone there that was. Do you remember like when they had all the fake weed stuff? Like, like Spice and all that shit. Well, there was also like the fake Coke.
Yeah.
And like, or it was like bath salts and stuff like that. Well, someone was like smoking bath salts, and they kept just blowing it into my face while I was asleep. And so I'm like breathing it all in, and I woke up just like freaking the fuck out, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
No, I freaked the fuck out, dude. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Jesus, everyone knows I smoke weed. So like, you know, there's the Coke scenes around, like certain people do Coke, right? But they never really like offer. They know not to offer to me because I'm not, right? And I remember, I can't remember who it was recently. I didn't walk in on them doing Coke, but oh no, yeah, I did. I walked. They were all like kind of hanging out, and I walked in. They're like, "Oh, hey, we're kind of just partying. I hope you don't mind." I was like, "No, it's fine. I don't give a shit."
Yeah.
And my friend, he was just like, "You want to do a line?" And I remember just looking at him, and I was like, "You're a bad influence." Yeah. I was like, "Dude, come on, man. I got a wife and like I got a career and a whole like, what are you doing, dude? Get the fuck out of here." Like, you're not. Like in my head, I was like, "You're not my real friend." You know? Because even my real friends who do that shit would be like, "No, I'm not gonna give that to Frank." Yeah. So it was just very like, ugh. And I remember another time I was at a party. Actually, I went to my friend's house. We were hanging out and smoking weed. And then he was like, "I'm gonna do a line. That cool?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. You do you."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "You want some?" And I was like, "Nah, I can't." He was like, "Oh, come on, do a line." And I was like, "Ah." And my go-to is always just blame my wife. You know what I mean? I was like, my wife would be so mad if I did it without her. She doesn't do Coke at all. She's not. She's a fucking like straight, well-to-do white lady. She doesn't do any of that shit. Someone was just like, the wife, big Coke head. She'd be so mad if we didn't do it together because that's what we love doing. And he was like,
such a good excuse. So stupid. Like,
he was just like, "You want to take some Coke home? Some to-go Coke?" And I was like, "Who's fucking offering to-go Coke?"
That's wild.
Every person I tell that story to that does cocaine is like, that never happens.
Yeah,
they're like, insane. That guy loves you.
Yeah, literally. He's like, "Do you actually just want this? Like, I'll stop doing it." Like,
it's all I have left. All right. Do you have an opinion on Cali sober or full versus full sobriety?
Not really. I mean, like, doesn't really work for me. But like, if that works for that person, that's chill. Mm-hmm. I mean, that sounds pretty chill.
You're like, I wish.
Yeah. I mean,
I have a friend who same thing. He was like sober, and I was like, "So you can't smoke any weed at all?" And he's like, "I cannot." And I was like, "Why not?" And he goes, "If I smoke weed, it'll be about 10 minutes until I'm like, I think I'd just rather have some crack." And I was like, "All right, I don't think you can have any weed then. That's fine. All right." I get it.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, like, I don't know. I also, like, I used to smoke a lot of weed, but then, like, I don't want to be like, it was the gateway. Like, because that's always, like, you hear and, like, there and all that stuff.
The weed,
But, like, I don't know. It definitely kind of was. Like, it was just, like, the first thing I had access to. Yeah. Really.
Like, and I guess it's less of, like, I understand the thing of, like, it is not a gateway drug, whereas more is, like, it is a gateway drug for you.
Yeah.
Where it's, like, it's the most easily accessible thing to get me to go towards the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can see how that's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Is your family like pretty open with addiction? Like, do they have a history of it?
None of them have any like problems.
That's crazy.
Like,
my whole family, like, all alcoholics.
I'm just like sort of like, I sort of just got fucked. Like literally.
You're like, thanks guys.
Yeah, I mean, everyone else is like pretty normal. Like most of them don't drink.
Whoa.
Even.
Wow. I wish.
Or do anything.
I remember. Yeah, alcoholism is definitely prevalent in my whole family. Like, they're all big, like, to the point where, like, I remember when I tell people, I'm like, "Yeah, my dad should just stop drinking." They'd be like, "Whoa, whoa, let's not get crazy." And I'm just like, or they'd be like, "You're turning your back on our culture." I'm like, I don't think getting shit faced has anything to do with being Mexican, but okay. Like, I was like, "What are you talking about? That's wild." But yeah, but I also kind of try to like be aware of it with how much weed I smoke. You know? because even though the worst that's gonna happen is I'm gonna like pass out and go to bed, but
yeah,
there's still the aspect of like buying a lot of weed and spending money on it, and knowing that it's like, if I wasn't smoking weed, I'd be probably drinking a lot, because I used to drink a lot, but I don't drink anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I never really liked drinking that much. I don't know why.
When I would drink, I'd want to burn everything down, and that is like my favorite. Or I was just like, how do we ruin this, all of it? And then it's like, yeah, no, that's not good. Being self-destructive and just not like. I'd also like get shit-faced and crawl into bed and tell my wife I love her to death. You know what I mean? Like that was adorable, but I don't need to get shit-faced to do that.
Yeah, you can just do that.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
All right. What's something you wish people knew about addiction?
Fuck. Good question. I guess like, I don't know, dude. Like, I guess we're good now. We can just keep it a mystery, you know.
If you want to find out, you should get addicted.
Yeah. Just wait till it happens to you or a family member. You'll find out.
Oh my god.
But I mean, I don't know. It's just like, I guess like even if you're helping someone and it doesn't seem like it's, or you're trying to help someone and it's not really working, like right then, you know, like, or say like you introduce someone, like you try to get someone to go to rehab, like say like you had a family member go to rehab or something, or like fucking you're just trying to guide them in the right way. Like, I think that like with my whole thing, like if that stuff wouldn't have like, I wasn't like, so like when they were like trying to get me to do that kind of stuff, I wasn't really ready to do it. And even though I didn't, but then like then after, like pretty much after the fact, like I would fucking relapse or whatever. Like I've relapsed a bunch of times. Like this is the longest that I've stayed sober. But the thing is, like once like without those times of people trying to help me though, I wouldn't have known what to do. Like when I actually was ready, you know.
No,
so
absolutely.
like I mean, just like even if it seems like you're not helping, I guess like. Fucking
don't give up.
Yeah, just don't give up, I guess. Yeah.
It's a great message. It's very, very helpful.
Yeah.
I think like my dad was an alcoholic, still is. So like that's like the thing that I think I'm dealing with the most is like actively dealing with someone who has an addiction.
Yeah.
Because like for the longest time, I always thought that like in my head it was like it's such a dumb thing. Because I told my wife this and she didn't laugh at me, but she was just like, she was like, you realize how like silly that is, right? Where it was like for the longest time I always thought it was like if I just get good at comedy and become successful, I can move my dad out of San Jose and take him away from like all the things that enable him, right?
Yeah.
And then finally when that all came to happen, and finally when it was like you're like, hey, just retire, you can live with me, I'll take care of everything.
Yeah.
He was just like, no. He was like, I can't.
Fuck.
Yeah, and then it was just kind of like, oh, it was never really about anything I did. It was always up to you whether or not you want to like do this, and that like crushed me.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's like tough because I just want him to be good, but it's like I can't do anything unless he wants to.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it all comes down to like that person like really wanting to do it.
Yeah,
like, Because like I don't know, I've seen it happen a bunch of times where they just have to get to a point where like they have to want to change.
Yeah,
you know?
And I think that's kind of the thing where I'm waiting for, where it's like, because I know he's a good guy, I know he loves me, I know he loves his family, he loves his kids, but it's like just I don't know what he's telling himself or like, you know what mean things he's believing. Yeah. That like he feels that he can't deserve to just be, loved, and or just that he deserves to just be in a better place or just be, a better person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And on next week, no. What are the most crucial things you do to maintain your sobriety? Examples like go to AA, praying, meditating.
Yeah, I guess like the main thing is like just staying in contact with other sober people, doing like those just doing like the 12-step stuff. Also just like I sort of like fell out of like doing like this morning routine thing, but I'm starting to do that again too.
What's the morning routine?
It's just like fucking like saying some like prayer stuff, like reading some shit, and like fucking hitting people up and stuff like that.
Are you a very religious person?
No.
You Jewish?
Like, no.
I'm just...
It's it's like, well, with like all that AA stuff, like, I mean, it's like not even really like real. It's more like just like a higher power of your understanding. Mm-hmm. So it's like chiller. Like,
it's chill, bro.
Yeah,
it's like it's all vibes.
It's not like praying to like. It's like, hey Jesus, what's up, dude? Like,
what's up, God?
Yeah, and he's just like, dude, like, you're going to hell. Like,
it's so funny because like I'll talk about like, you know, it is funny because it's like people that are in AA or like children of alcoholics or like, what's it called? What's the adult children of alcoholics?
I don't even remember.
Al-Anon?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, is like, because I've done stand-up and like I've talked about it and stuff, and I've had fucking Mike Glazer. I remember one time we were talking afterwards, he came up to me and he goes, hey man, you know, if you want to go to Al-Anon with me, you know, you might benefit. Like I've had multiple people from AA tell me, I was like, you might benefit from an Al-Anon. I'm like, oh god damn it. And I was like, am I wearing it that much? Is it that apparent that I've been hurt? I mean, it is funny, but it is also very like real and true. Where it's like when it comes to like guys and like dealing with all that stuff and addiction and like parents and finding out that they're not perfect. It is like it is funny when you, because like I remember thinking everyone's was like, not everyone's dad drives drunk. You know what I mean? Like no one else. It's just me. Yeah. No one else has to like go to the bar and try to get your dad to come out of it. Like no one vividly remembers that. That's so crazy. Yeah. Yeah. And then you find out that you're like, not everyone does that, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. It's like that's not normal.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Like. And it's funny having a wife that's a therapist because I'll tell her stories that were funny that my mom and my dad has told me about their childhood, and I'll tell it to my wife, and she's like, that is abuse. Yeah. That's straight trauma. That's crazy. Yeah. And then, like, her family problems were like...
It's like, no, but it's funny. Like, don't you get it? It's comedy.
Like, she comes from, like, a very fun, well-to-do white family, and, like, her, like, the last Thanksgiving we had... someone forgot to add a chair, so there wasn't enough chairs for everybody, and it was such a big family ordeal that it made it to the they had family meetings about it, and then it made it to like the family email.
What
so
the
then
fuck?
I swear to God, so then next year they implemented everyone has to bring a food item, and then not a chair, but it was like everyone like made sure that there was chairs. Yeah. And my wife was like, I'm so sorry you have to deal with this. I was like, dog, last Thanksgiving, someone got too shit-faced and punched my uncle over sports. Like that is, like that's dysfunction. This is fine.
Yeah, that's like pretty chill.
Yeah,
they're just like, you know, more chairs.
yeah, there's more chairs, plenty of places to see. Do you ever have any family that like is your family like pretty mellow or?
Yeah, they're all pretty mellow. You know, they're like. Chill.
It always blows my mind when I find people with mellow families.
Yeah, no, it was all like pretty chill. I mean, like. My mom's super dead, but like she was chill though.
No family fights. No one ever like got shit faced, punched anybody.
No, really. I mean, like, yeah.
I will point this because my wife. They're gonna hate that I tell this story, but I'm not gonna say which cousin. But there was a story about how their grandparents bought the niece's. Baby dolls. One of them was white, one was black. Yeah. And the niece that got the black baby doll was very upset about it. What? That shit. When they told me it was like the family incident, that shit made me laugh so hard. And I was just like, "Who got the white baby doll?" And they told me, I was like, "Were they upset?" And they're like, "No." And I was like, "They're like, did they even know?" And they're like, "No." I was like, "That's so funny." The grandma was like, I didn't think I did anything wrong. I was like, well, you didn't, but it's still very funny. Oh, my God. That was fun. Yeah. My cousins used to sell me their old toys.
Oh, yeah?
That's how ruthless my Mexican family is.
That's fucking ridiculous.
My grandma found out and was like, you're giving them your toys. You don't fucking sell them. No.
When I was a kid, though, like, I would get, like, hand-me-down toys and stuff from my cousins. Mm-hmm. But, like, they never, like, physically, like, it was, like, come from, like, my mom somehow. Like, I never knew, like, exactly where it was coming from. And I literally had, like, all these crazy, like, I had all these action figures. and like it was just tons of different types of action figures. Some of them probably would be worth money. Like,
oh yeah,
they were like really cool stuff, and I pretty much had this box, and I just called them my men. Like, instead of like toys or like action figures, like,
me and
where's
the boys?
Zach? Where's Zach? He's just hanging out. He's just playing with his men downstairs. Like, it's so weird, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I
would like make them fight in like my sister's Barbie house and stuff. Yeah.
The good old times.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, I look back at all the stuff I used to have, and all that stuff's worth money. I had all the original Ninja Turtles. Had all the I had the Jurassic Park vehicle.
Sick.
Had the fucking Gray Skull Manor. Had all the Pokemon. Had all that stuff, and then you go back, you look at the prices, and you're like, holy fuck.
It's insane, dude.
Japan actually has a lot of cool vintage stuff still.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's really cool.
When I went there, I went and bought. I spent $140 on 3 action figures I had when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which ones were there?
So it was Venom. Mm-hmm. It was 2 different kinds of Venoms, and then a Carnage.
Okay.
So it was like from the 90s Marvel comic book, like back in the day. Like I remember, I was like, I remember buying these in Toys R Us.
Yeah. Yeah. I was a huge. Were you like a huge Ninja Turtle dude?
Oh, huge.
I loved the Ninja Turtles growing up. Like, I mean, I definitely played all the games and stuff too, but I also like. I mean, I really liked the cartoon and stuff, but when the live action movie from 1990
changed my life.
Amazing, dude, and it still holds up.
Yeah.
Like, very well.
Did you see the big tour when it was the live action tour when it was
That's so sick.
I remember being a child screaming, hoping the Shredder came to pick me.
Yeah, dude, that shit's so sick. Like, I remember, like, I was looking up, like, so I had this one toy that was like, I think it was from my cousins or something, but it was just like the turtle. It was like the mask for around the eyes, but then it had like the turtle like part of the face that like you could wear. But I've looked it up and I can't find it like anywhere, and how it how it looked like exactly, like, because it was more of like the whole like nose part, and then I finally found it, and it was actually a toy from the 80s that ended up like that I had in the 90s.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's crazy. Yeah, it was Ernie Ray Jr. was the pizza delivery guy.
Yeah.
And then now he's like a huge like choreographed stunt guy.
That's insane.
So wild to see.
Have you seen there's like that, I think it was on like, it was like one of those, like, it's not like My Strange Addiction or something. It was like one of those like TLC shows where it's like the girl that's like addicted to buying like Ninja Turtle stuff.
What?
And she
love of your life? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Well, she like keeps buying like cinematic like movie quality costumes and stuff. She's like taking out bank loans so she can pay for all of it. And she has like cinema quality like masks and stuff. She's like, I paid like $5,000 for this, like 10 grand. It's like,
could
insane.
you imagine going home on a one night stand and you're about to fuck a chick, and then you go into her room and she's just got Ninja Turtle outfits? Or you're like, are you a prop lady? Do you work in Hollywood? What's going on? She's like, no, this is my hobby. Do you still have sex with that lady?
I don't know, dude. I feel like
I think anything of too much of one thing is weird.
I would probably say no.
Yeah.
That would be kind of terrible.
Obviously, if you're single, you know what I mean.
Yeah. I would obviously be single.
Yeah. Because I think of that, like, anytime I remember going into a girl's like, not room, but I remember like being invited to girls. I remember being invited to a girl's place when I was like in my 20s, and she just had a bunch of stuffed animals, and I was just kind of like, ugh.
I think that's okay. Ugh. Like, it was just too many. Like, what?
It was too many.
Well, I feel like Ninja Turtle costumes is alarming.
Yeah.
I feel like stuffed animals, it's like, okay, like that's kind of more of a normal thing.
I mean, like, if they were Squishmallows, I get it, but that's now. You know what I mean? I guess back then it was still a little too much. What? Squishmallows are cool.
It's more weird than having a lot of stuffed animals.
What? More Squishmallows? I think it's the. I guess so. I guess you're right. Oh, I should have clarified. It was Hello Kitty. I guess you're right.
Okay.
Just got a point. Well, it was like Hello Kitty stuff. That is like, I mean, I guess it's not bad, but it was too much for my taste. I wonder if I just didn't like the girl.
You might not have.
I like how he boiled it down. I was like, I don't think it was the squid.
I just didn't like
her. My wife's a big pillow lady. She's got a bunch of pillows. What time are we at? Perfect. Six. All right, cool. Any goals you have for the end of the year?
Goals. That's good. I'm happy you asked.
You're like, we're gonna make them right now.
Yeah. Probably just like, do a bunch of I just want to do a bunch of stand up. I just want to try to progress some way. I mean, I'm not even really sure what a goal would be. I just want to do more shows than I did last year. Get up more than I did last year for stand up. Other than that, I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel.
Nice.
So that's an actual one. I'm just making shit up now.
You're like, I want to raise my son.
Yeah. What else? Maybe lose some weight. Fucking, I don't know. Yeah, just try to be funnier.
Try to be funnier than you were the day before?
Yeah, try to be funnier than the day before. It's actually a good way to look. That's almost looking at it it's AA.
No, 100%.
Because it's so funny because it's just one day at a time. It's just every day, dude. I'm figuring out so much shit here, dude.
Yeah, I said relating comedy to sobriety, and you were like, "Oh my god!"
It just clicks for real now, dude. So just be funnier each day, and then that's what it is. You want to be my comedy sponsor, dude?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let me tell you, my wife makes fun of me a lot because she calls me the comedy therapist.
Yeah,
because the amount of phone calls I get during the day where it's just talking other comics off the ledge.
Yeah.
And it's not even anything crazy. It's just literally just giving positive reinforcements to my friends, people that I believe in comedy. Because we all have the same complaints. We all have the same fears. We all have the same worries. And it's so funny because I talk to literally all my friends will be like, Frank, can I talk to you? And we'll just shoot the shit. And it is so funny how many people think that I have it going on and all together.
Yeah.
Because if you ask my wife, I'm a fucking wreck. You know what I mean? It is thinly veiled and barely being held together. You know what I mean? You're just I am a captain of a ship, and it takes 6 people to run it. I'm just one guy running around, and my wife's like, "Settle down," you know. But I don't know. Yeah, again, it's just taking it one day at a time, just trying to be better. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I'd like to have a kid this year.
Nice.
Maybe not with my wife, just a kid. Yeah, I'd love to get my wife pregnant. But realistically, I mean, I don't know, again, just getting better at stand up. I'd love to get past at the cellar. I'd love to get I'd love to get JFL just because it'd be a cool feather in the cap. Even then, it's not a necessity. I don't know if these festivals are necessities anymore.
Yeah.
When I was in my 20s, if I would have got them, it would have been fucking sick. And now it's just kind of they're still great. I'm very excited to be a part of them.
Yeah.
But it is I'm
hoping I can just do a bringer show at Flappers or something.
You gotta aim up, dog. You gotta aim up a little higher, bro. Come on. Yeah, there's the Comedy Chateau. You could have,
Oh my god!
Did you ever see the Flappers tweet? Fucking Flappers kills me, dude. Flappers put out a tweet. I don't know if you I don't know if you were around when you saw this, but if you were around when this happened, but Flappers tweeted on their Twitter, it was all of our customers are just N-words and spics, I think is what they said.
What?
Yeah. And they I know it was a Hispanic slur.
Yeah.
And then something, and then literally the next tweet was, "Sorry, our Twitter got hacked. Please disregard that last tweet." And then they didn't delete it. They literally
just let it
just sat. And then they were like, this Tuesday coming up in our other room, blah, blah. And we're like, what the fuck, dude? It was insane. So goddamn funny. That club makes me laugh all the time.
Dude, you don't even have to go there.
No. Thank God I haven't been there in fucking years.
Dude. That's insane.
That is such a funny.
Didn't they do like half off tickets for the fire or something?
I mean,
or something like that.
Dog, when we want to talk about just the shilling after the fires, I think they did half off tickets after the fires
or something, or maybe it was like I don't know. I don't want to like get the.
Oh yeah, God forbid you get banned from Flappers.
No, I just wanted to get like the right amount. Like, what if it was buy one get one free? I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like selling it like short.
No, yeah. Anytime you bought a ticket, they donated a basket of fries to a firefighter. No, they. All I remember is remember when Joan Rivers died?
Yeah, I think so.
Joan Rivers died, and then they were like,
she's dead. No.
They were like, in honor of Joan, she would have wanted us to give half off prices to comedy writing classes. I swear to God. It was like within 24 hours of her dying.
Class was full, dude.
Bro, dude, that fucking place makes you laugh so goddamn hard.
Dude, okay, the one time I did a show there, and I was supposed to sign the wall, and I didn't do it. Like, I didn't sign the wall. And like I still regret it.
No. Oh no.
Like I remember getting in the car and being like, fucking like I was going back to like Orange County, and I was like, because I was living in Orange County at the time, and I was like, dude, fuck, I forgot to sign the wall.
That's so fun. Dude, I remember the first time when you moved to LA, and the first time you get here, and then like you go to Flappers, and then they send you that contract. You feel like such a pro comedian. You feel like I fucking made it. I'm signing a contract to do 10 minutes for no money. You're like, I'm literally signing a contract to not get paid, and you feel like such a winner. Oh, this place is fucking vicious, dude. I mean, were you around during the Bringer shows?
No. I mean, I've just like heard like how long ago was that? Like how long ago?
4, 5, 6 years maybe. It was like Bringer show heavy.
Yeah.
I remember there were some producers that were just dog shit. They'd make you pay if you were promised a certain amount of people. Just terrible people.
I feel like I could have swore though, like I've seen some people be like, hey, like or like where they've been doing like comedy competition stuff at Flappers, and they still have to bring people.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily like the same
true competition,
but like you have to bring people so they can like clap for you or vote for you or whatever the fuck.
And then those are like tough because then it's like no matter what, your friends are gonna vote for you. But that's also like it's great when like you're just a comic and you crush so hard that even their friends are like, we gotta give it to this guy.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's I don't know. Flappers is wild.
Have you ever been? All right, before we get out of here, have you ever been mean to anybody in comedy?
Have I ever been mean to anyone?
Yeah.
Not really, no, not that I'm aware of. I mean, I'm just like, this isn't on my rider. That would be insane, dude. No, I mean, I don't think so.
You ever been mean at an open mic? You ever seen crazy shit at an open mic?
I've never like, dude. I mean, like I've been to Fourth Wall a bunch. I never really seen anything too crazy.
Oh man, when the store open mic was around, we were just not nice. We were vicious, not really vicious, but one of my favorite stories.
I need to start going to this.
You got to come hang out. Yeah, they're fun. It's a lot nicer now. It's not as mean. I remember one time. This is just me being a shithead, and I didn't even realize it. I felt so bad. But I was working the belly room on an outside produced show. And I think it was Vargas Mason's show, but it was a lot of like newer people, right?
Yeah.
And this girl goes up, she bombs, and I go up afterwards, and I was like, "Ugh, comedy, it's real hard, right?" Everyone loses it. And then like I get into my stuff, I do fine, but I was just like, I was just working. It's like a night. I'm whatever. I'm just talking shit. And then like months later, that girl's there, and she's like, "Hey, you remember me?" I was like, "No, hey." She was like, "Yeah, you were." It was like, "You went up after you made fun of me after my set once." I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I was just fucking around. I didn't mean it." She goes, "Yeah, that was my first time doing stand up." And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "I'm so goddamn sorry." I was like, "I didn't know." I was in the middle of a 6-hour shift. I thought I was just being silly. And it's also just like you forget, and you're just like, I got to be nicer.
Yeah. No, I'm just like, dude, I don't know. Like, I've never. It takes a lot for me to want to be like for me to be mean. I don't know what it is. Like, but also like for some reason I always think like someone's just like the one time I'm gonna be mean, like someone's gonna like fucking Dimebag Daryl me or something. Like they're just gonna show up. Like like. Yeah. That's all.
This is where my wife thinks I'm crazy. There is this weird like part of me that smiles where it's like if someone ever gets so mad that they want to physically hurt me while I'm on stage, or if someone's going to kill me while I'm on stage because of something I said, there's a weird part of me that's like, yeah, where it's like, my wife's like, you're going to get murdered one of these days.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I know. There's just something funny about that. And, all right.
Don't get murdered.
Yeah, try not to get murdered while you're on stage.
Yeah. But murder the show.
Yeah, kill the show.
Kill the show.
The last thing I'll say that made me laugh was so there's LA comics full of just comics that don't move out of LA and just stay here.
Yeah.
One of them's very like one of them's very I'll say this politely. One's very right. One's very correct.
Yeah.
Like what they do is very like correct, morally correct, right?
Yeah.
It's not very
I thought
funny.
You were mainly like right leaning.
Yeah, no. It's like morally they're correct.
Okay.
Like if you're a regular person, it's like you were like you're right. You know what I mean? But it's like when it comes to comedy, it's not about being right. It's about like being funny, right?
Yeah.
So like they were like just talking shit about the store and all this stuff, which is like fine. But someone was like, one time I was at the open mic and Frank Castillo was hosting, and he said that he asked me how long I've been doing stand up, and I said a year, and he goes, "Oh, okay," and that was it. No constructive feedback. I was like, "Yeah, man." He was like, "You've been doing it a year?" I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's so mad.
Like, you have to give feedback every time. That's so funny, dude.
Yeah, someone was like, you have nothing for me? And I was like, dude, you're 3 years in. Come and see me when you're 7 years in.
Yeah.
You just figure it out. It's tough, There's no, like, rhyme or reason. It is literally just, like, go up, do the jokes, write, get better, suck, get better, blah, blah, blah. Everyone wants it, like, so quick.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely it's not gonna happen quick for me.
No, I mean, trust me, even if that's the thing is like, even like guys like you or like people that I see blow up virally and stuff, it's like even that comes with a whole set of problems.
Yeah,
because now it's like everyone's watching you. Now you got to keep them, or now you got to like catch up to all this whatever.
Yeah.
Right? So it really just depends. Not all of it's good. Some of it's tough.
Yeah, I think, and it's kind of weird. I feel like I'm like, because like doing stunt stuff. Sorry to bring this up at the end.
No,
but doing stunt stuff, like it's kind of weird, like pivoting into comedy more. Even though Jackass is more like funny than like some of the the other stuff. The other stuff I was doing was more just gnarly. But like it's weird, like pivoting into like people, because people used to be like, oh, they would like be watching my stuff to watch me like almost die, and then now it's like I am like just trying to do like funny stuff, and then they're like, dude, we want to see you almost die.
You just got a nail gun on stage. You're like, if you don't laugh, I'll fucking do it.
Yeah, we thought you were gonna do something crazy, and it's just like, dude, like chill out, bro.
Yeah. Well, please don't kill yourself on stage.
I'm not going to.
Just do stand up. Anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Yeah, check out my podcast, Maximum Zack. It's on all platforms. Go check out my YouTube, Maximum Zack TV on YouTube. Tons of stuff on there. And follow me on Instagram, Jackass.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, no, this is fun.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Shout out Kalia Extracts. Thank you so much for sponsoring. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, the guys. Thank you, Puffco, for taking care of me, as always. Thank you so much. Rate and subscribe on YouTube. See you guys soon.